One question I often get is how am I supposed to find the good PvP IVs during Community Day? Like, you only have 100 bag space and you're catching nearly 1,000 Pokemon, so how do you know, like quickly, how do you determine which Pokemon have the good and the bad IVs? I bet a lot of you have adopted using this simple search string method, and I gotta tell you right now, that is a useful method, but compared to what I'm gonna show you today, it's a little nothing baby method. And this method also won't help you get the SwagTips like specific breakpoint IV spreads. This can be a huge barrier to that when you got goofy stuff that looks like this, right? Well, in this video, I'm going to teach you guys an even better method, one that will kind of revolutionize your PvP IV hunting experience, the Errubki method, also known as the reverse search string.
What is this?
So to start, you go to Errubki's Reddit post. Before every event, spotlight hour, community day, Errubki will do a post like this on Reddit, giving you the Google Drive to the reverse search strings. So you click on this. Of course, link in the description to Errubki's Reddit profile and on their Twitter profile as well. They also share this stuff on Twitter. So here in the Google Drive, you can see we got 3 folders. We got English, Espanol, and not swag. I'll talk about the not swag folder in a little bit, but for now, let's click on English. And what you have are more folders. And what these folders are asking you is what you care about. This first question here is, do you care about Galar Zigzagoon for the Little League? So if you care about it a little bit, you might want to go for like the top 25 stat product Galar, Zigzagoons. If you care about it a lot, maybe you want to go for the top 100. I personally don't care about it at all, so I'm going to go for the top 0. The top 0 doesn't worry about Little League Galar Zigzagoon. And one thing I will tell you guys is the more honest you are about this, or like the more dismissive you are of certain IVs, the more like powerful the end result is going to be. So if you really don't care about this, I'd hit the 0. Then it takes you to another folder. The next question. Do you care about Galar Linoon in the Little League? I don't, so 0. And then, do you care about Galar Linoon in the Great League? Right now, it's not that good. It's not very meta. It could be good in the future, so it might pay to be mindful of the top 25 at least. Like, why would I want to get rid of one of the top 25, right? Then we get to Obstagoon. Obstagoon in the Little League, that's a no from me. And then we got Obstagoon in the Great League. Now this is based on stat product, not the Ryan Swag IVs. And for Obstagoon in particular, I do feel like an attack weighted Obstagoon is better than a stat product Obstagoon. But having a really high stat product Obstagoon still does have its use cases. So I'm going to go with the top 25 at least. And then same question for the Ultra League. Same response for me at least for the Ultra League. And then it asks you if you want to add the swag IVs or not. And I don't even know why this is a question, right? Of course we want the swag IVs. And then we get this final question. Basically, do you care about the IV percentage of the Pokemon? Do you want the hundo? Do you want the near hundo? Obstagoon isn't very good in the Master League, so I'll just go with the hundo here and not really care about anything else. And then what you get is a giant wall of text. And you highlight this text, select all, and then copy. And then you take this to Pokemon Go. You go to the search bar, and then you paste it in. All that big line, thousands of text, all in there. And then what you do is you highlight, you basically search for every single Galar Zigzagoon that does not meet those specifications. So basically, every Galar Zigzagoon highlighted here, will not be the rank 1. It will not be the swag IV. It will not be the hundo. And why is this useful? Well, you can mass select and mass transfer all these Galar Zigzagoons because they don't matter. So when you're going through Community Day, you got 200 bag space and now you got 200 Galar Zigzagoons. You can select like the 130 or whatever that don't matter to you. They won't be the rank 1. They won't be the hundo. They won't be the swag IV. They're going to be Galar Zigzagoons you don't even want to look at or think about. Big thing, there are no false positives. So the rank 1 will not show up in here. The hundo won't show up in here. You will not throw away anything that, according to the folders you selected, that you want. So they're all safe to throw away. There will be some false negatives. You know, not all the bad IVs are going to escape the gaze of the giant ass search string, but that's not that big of a deal. You just want to toss these things, create bag space, and keep moving on with your community day. And you may notice that some of these have nicknames, some of them are starred, right? That's from my old method. I actually didn't know about this method until recently, and it's so freaking good that I just have to share it with all you guys. But with my old method, I had to manually check every single IV, and then I'd star the ones that I think could be good, and then I'd have to go home and manually look through them again to make sure if they're good or not, which is a very tedious and time-consuming process. With the reverse search string here, the Errubki method, I can just get rid of all these because I just know that they're not what I'm looking for, right? So clearly revolutionizing the game as far as looking for PvP IVs during these big events. Now, if you're thinking, Ryan Swag, that whole process was pretty tedious. Like mid-community day, I don't have to rifle through all these folders and copy this text and stuff like that. Well, like you do that before community day, right? And then you can just tab on over to it like this on your phone, right? Easy squeezy. And on top of that, Pokemon Go actually remembers the last 4 search strings that you used. So you could pre-search this before community day, and then you can just go here and it's already loaded up. You just have to click on it, and then boom, search string used. Another thing to add with this is, unfortunately, some phones have a text limit as far as what you can copy and paste, and sometimes these search strings can be too long for those phones, which is, you know, pretty unfortunate. I don't know if these phones have like a setting for you to disable that or not, but one workaround that can work is to log into like a friend or family member's phone that doesn't have this limit, and then do the search string there. And then because Pokemon Go remembers that you use that search string, then on your own phone, when you're going through community day, the search string will still be saved for you. So that's a workaround to that issue, assuming that there isn't a setting on your phone where you can disable that text limit. So as you can imagine, this completely changes the game as far as looking for PvP IVs. Now, if you're wondering what the not swag table is all about, well, basically, these are reverse search strings for the specific PvP IVs from my PvP IV deep dives. So the not premium attack GL would be a reverse string for everything that is not the premium attack Galar Zigzagoon from my PvP IV deep dive. And the way Errubki says to use this is that you mass tag all the Pokemon that aren't that. And then when you search for Galarian Zigzagoon, all the ones that aren't tagged would very likely be the premium attack Great League Obstagoon. Now, if you're wondering why this reverse tag method, well, according to Errubki, the way that the search strings work in Pokemon Go, like the language of it, is that reverse strings are more accurate than positive strings are. But if the whole reverse untagged tag thing is a little bit too much for you, you could generate a positive string on pvpivs.com. All the tables at the bottom will say generate a search string from this table. So you could use that method as well. But that method is going to have more false positives, so you're going to have more trash that you're going to have to sort through. But the drawback to the reverse method is that you have to tag and untag a bunch of stuff. So to each their own on that one. But it's nice that Errubki does have this available for us to use. And that is the Errubki method for finding PvP IVs in Pokemon Go. Completely blows my mind that I've been overlooking this process for so long, thinking my manual search way was so much better. Like, it does have its merits, but let's get real here. So big shout out to Errubki for coming up with this and keeping up with this. And thank you so much for including my SwagTips PvP IV deep dive IVs in the mix as well. It is super hard for people to find them without something like this, and it definitely expedites that process in a way I never could imagine would be possible. So thank you so much for doing that. Once again, link to their Twitter and Reddit profiles in the description so you can get these search strings as they come up. Important thing to note is that Errubki deletes them after a couple weeks of the event because it takes up so much space on their Google Drive that it basically is like 20,000 folders for the whole, you know, choose your own adventure tree searching thing there. It takes up a lot of space on the Google Drive, so it gets deleted after a couple weeks, but after a couple weeks, you won't even need to use it. So yeah, just thought I'd let you guys know. If you got any questions on this content, of course, comment below. Let me know what's up. I'll be happy to help you out. And if you enjoyed this kind of content, you want to see more like it, well, make sure to subscribe to SwagTips. I'd also like to give a special shout out to these patron supporters. If you want to support Swagman on Patreon, link in the description. Because it takes up so much space on their Google Drive that it's like 20,000 folders for the whole adventure tree novel